In this video, you are going to learn how to write a lab report. To write a good lab report, there are several things you need to do. For example, you should prepare your lab manual in advance. Listen to a demonstrator for a basic introduction for the experiment that you are going to use, and most importantly, never try to create your own experiment. Now, let's talk about what a lab report is and the purpose of writing a lab report. A lab report is a way to explain what you have done in an experiment. You describe the results you obtained and then discuss what you learned. Writing a lab report is one of the main ways to share information to other scientists. It communicates the major points of an investigation to others who are in a similar field. Lab reports have their own unique style and format. Though you may have been taught to write poetically and with artistry, lab reports require clarity and accuracy. They convey information in a concise and clear manner as you explain your investigation and results. These reports should be about 2 to 3 pages in length, so excessive background or intensive explanations are not necessary. Additionally, do not use pronouns in your writing. Use past tense and passive voice in writing your lab reports, as you are describing the things happened during the experiment. As in all writing, proper grammar, spelling, and punctuation are important. And definitely avoid using slangs in your report. Lab reports are technical documents. Use correct technical terms and incorporating graphs and tables within the body of the text. After talking about style and format, let's move on to the structure of lab reports. Usually, there are 8 major sections for a common laboratory report, namely the title page, objectives, introduction, procedures, results, discussion, conclusion, and references. First, for the title page, it includes the title of your experiment, your name, any lab partners' names, and the date of experiment performed. Second, for objectives, by definition, you only need to state the purposes of the experiment. Third, for introduction, this section is to attempt to provide the reader with background, briefly discussing what the experiment is about and why the experiment is conducted in a certain way. Sometimes the introduction is also the place to state your hypothesis. Fourth, procedures, also called materials and methods. You need to list materials used to perform the experiment and how you did it. Try to use your own words and write in complete sentences to show you have a good understanding of the experimental procedure. This section must be detailed enough so as to let others reproduce your experimental methods and obtain the same results. Please remember to use past tense and passive voice. Next, the results section only includes any raw data or observations, quantitative and/or qualitative, you made in the experiment. Quantitative data may be more easily represented in a table or graph. Remember to give titles, numbers, and units of measurements for any table and graphs. In this way, you can refer to these diagrams in your discussions. For graphs, make sure you label the axis with unit. For tables, make sure you label the columns and rows and include the units of measurement as well. Sometimes you may need to present some calculations, and it is better to demonstrate the mathematical process. In the discussion section, you can logically give explanation or interpretation based on the data or observations you recorded in the results section. The purpose of this section is to consider your results as to how they support your original hypothesis or the previously stated objectives, If you get an unexpected result, you can discuss some possible sources of errors and any improvement for minimizing such errors. For a conclusion, it is often a single paragraph with a brief summary for the experiment, whether it supported the hypothesis or not. The last section is references. Whenever you mention previous research studies, make sure you list them at the end of your report. One warm reminder: word-for-word copying is considered as plagiarism, so please use your own words in your report.